welcome back to another live stream in our Team Lotus series here on F1 Manager. And we have just two races. Yes, two races to go in this 2026 season. And will it finally be Daniel Ricciardo coronation day today? I think anything fifth or higher, then he will win the World Drivers' Championship here today. So it doesn't matter where Tsunoda finishes. If Ricciardo finishes at least fifth or higher, he will become the World Drivers' Champion for 2026. So he's not got too much to do, and he's starting in third place on this one. So he's got a great opportunity, has Danny Rick, to become a World Driver Champion here today. And we'll see though, because we haven't, although we qualified third and fifth, we haven't really got the best of race pace around here. So I don't know if we'll be holding on to third and fifth. Aaron, hello, buddy. How's it going? Hope you're well. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. As I say, we haven't really got to push to win it. We've just got to at least secure fifth with Danny Rick, and he will become a first-time World Drivers' Champion here today. And yeah, it's we claimed the Constructors last time out, so now it's time to do the double. All good, chap. And you? Good to hear, buddy. Good to hear. Yes, I am very well. Thank you. I am very well. So, as I say, Ricciardo starts third. Alonso fifth. We're mixing the strategy up a bit here. Ricciardo's going to go for the one-stopper, medium, then hard. Alonso's going to go two-stopper. So, he's going to go medium, then softs. First stint's actually quite similar. Ricciardo actually going to be in a little bit earlier. He's going to go onto the hard tyre from lap... actually, a little bit later, sorry. He'll be going on to the hards lap 26, and Alonso's first stop will be around lap 23. As I say, Fernando going for the two-stopper. But yes, we are back. It's Friday. Hope you're all doing well in the chat, whether you're watching live or catching up on the live stream once we post this. And yeah, we're back with more Formula 1 content as well in real life. Of course, China Sprint in the morning. We've already had sprint qualifying this morning, and that was a surprise really. McLaren looked like they were probably 3 tenths of a lap quicker than most of the field. I think they still might have that in the bag, but it was a little bit scrappy, especially for Lando in Q3, and I don't think Oscar necessarily nailed his lap on the second run. And I was not expecting a Lewis Hamilton pole, that's for sure. Never write the man off, of course, but I thought it's going to certainly be a difficult start to his season against Charles Leclerc. But he's had the beating of Charles so far across practice and sprint qualifying. So I think we're in for a pretty good sprint race in the morning. I'm still expecting the McLarens probably to come through. And then I think it'll be the two McLarens, Lewis and Max, fighting for the top 4, I would imagine. So we look forward to that. But getting back to what we're doing here tonight, as I say, Abu Dhabi. It's the penultimate race. In real life, it's obviously the closer, but we've changed the calendar and it's Brazil that we close out with. So this is the one but last race. So penultimate race here. So let's jump in and get underway in Abu Dhabi. And if you're jumping in early, please do smash that like button. Really helps me out.
Final checks are being carried out by the teams, and it won't be long until we get this race underway.
And we're about to start our Maserati season very soon, and we won't have Abu Dhabi. The community has voted to remove that.
Anything could happen. It's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
But here we go then. 4 lights, 5, and they're being held for quite a while, but underway with Max Verstappen and Sainz. A 1-2. Tsunoda has had to take a grid penalty that I forgot to mention there, so that's even worse for him in his fight to try and keep this World Driver Championship battle going into the final race of the season. Ricciardo, if Tsunoda, it doesn't matter where Tsunoda finishes, if Ricciardo finishes 5th or higher, Ricciardo will become the World Drivers' Champion, and he's jumped Sainz off the line to move into P2, so a good start from Danny Rick here. Let's have a look at tyres, sorry. So Danny Rick on those mediums. Verstappen on the softs. So if you're using the softs, I'd imagine you are going to two-stop. So I think we're going to have quite a mix of one-stoppers and two-stoppers here.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I cannot pass. Keep trying.
And Alonso's moved up to 4th as well. And he's all over Carlos Sainz, who is one of the hard runners. So he'll be... a little bit slower getting those tyres in the window and get them up to 10. That's probably why Ricciardo got him off the line. And here we go, Fernando Alonso round the outside here. the two right-handers, if I was to say, if he could stick in there or get the inside of the left-hander. As Fernando is arguing that he's pushed wide. I don't see that, though. As this manager, this is F1 Manager 24.
DRS enabled. DRS enabled.
DRS is enabled.
Currently P2. Next car is Max.
Well, let's just settle Ricciardo's strategy down. He's got 1.2 on Sainz.
Coming now.
They've dropped Bottas by 1.2 as well. Yeah, so what I was saying is we're going to be starting our Maserati series soon. That will become the main series on the channel. We did a series of community votes, and one of those was to reduce the calendar, or was voted to reduce the calendar. And we're going to start that series with 20 races rather than 24. And we're going to drop Qatar, Abu Dhabi, Miami, and Las Vegas. As Alonso nearly gave the rear end of Sainz a little love tap there. So yeah, we won't see this racetrack in our next series, or at least for the first year. Qatar was definitely my vote to remove. I don't like Qatar on this game at all. It's one of the most boring races on the calendar in-game. Las Vegas is a little bit too much of a DRS train, as Alonso has got past Sainz. Fernando Alonso then on the mediums and Sainz on the hards.
Yes.
And we have installed the 2025 mod for the new series, the upcoming Maserati season. So we'll have the driver lineups as they are in 2025, as well as the liveries. And yeah, so we're all ready to go with that. But first, we've got to close out this season and this series, and hopefully a Drivers' Championship for Danny Rick, as Sainz is coming straight back at Alonso, and we really need to settle down on our tyre life now.
Cool the tyres. Copy. Okay, crack on.
But yeah, I bet we have some very happy Lewis Hamilton fans, as we've got a yellow flag here.
But this is what happened. So here
Liam
we go,
Lawson
heading into turn one.
has had a big old lock up.
At that point, but all...
Who was in our car last year, Liam Lawson, the team Lotus, but he's had an awful car in that Alpine.
Okay.
Alpine, the only team yet to score. But yeah, as I say, probably some very happy Lewis Hamilton fans, because I'm sure even Lewis Hamilton fans weren't thinking he was going to grab a sprint pole this morning. And how long is Liam Lawson going to be lasting in that Red Bull? Here comes Carlos Sainz, though, in a Red Bull, and he's getting past Daniel Ricciardo, so the Red Bulls look like they've got the pace here.
Just head down.
Danny Rick, as I say, P5 is enough, no matter what Tsunoda does, to win the championship today, so Ricciardo's well placed. I can't really ask Alonso not to fight him, because Alonso's on a different strategy, so... And we've got another yellow flag. Looks like it's Bortoletto this time. And it is.
Currently.
He looks like he's locked up as well now.
No. Wide they go. And they'll find themselves at a disadvantage.
It's just to confirm it's thermal deck.
So Bortoletto and Lawson have had early lockups here. But yeah, I still fancy McLaren. Maybe I'm a bit biased being a McLaren fan, but they did look like they've got the pace. So I still fancy a McLaren 1-2 in the sprint. I'm going to go for an Oscar Piastri win, a Lando Norris second, and a Lewis Hamilton third. But let me know in the comments, what do you think the podium is going to be in the chat? What is tomorrow morning's sprint podium going to be? But Yuki is certainly living his best life, while Liam Lawson, as he is in-game right now, Liam Lawson last in sprint qualifying. While Max, yeah, P2, that's not a good look, is it? As Alonso and Ricciardo, our two teammates are fighting. Now, the only thing here is if we allow them to fight and Ricciardo gets taken out, that is going to be a big issue. But Alonso's on a 2-stopper, so I can't really afford to not allow them fight. Or I ask Ricciardo to get out of the way. But at the moment, they're kind of on the same strategy in terms of they're running a medium till early in the 20s in terms of race laps. And what about Lance Stroll? Lance Stroll obviously takes a big hit. He's doing big things, isn't he, this year? Got some points for himself in Australia. Out-qualified Fernando in China in the sprint. Lance Stroll is about to get to GOAT status, I'm hearing. Alright, Fernando. Being egged on by GP. And here we go, Fernando Alonso is going to get past Daniel Ricciardo then. I'm sure later in the race, if Alonso is beating Ricciardo and we can allow Ricciardo past to win the Drivers' Championship, then we'll do it. But Alonso is on a 2-stopper here. Now what we can do is ask them not to fight, because Ricciardo doesn't need to risk it. Don't need Ricciardo risking that at all. But no, as I say, Lawson, it's a troubling start for him, isn't it, in that Red Bull? I mean, if it carries on, I think you've got to give him time to adjust to that car. We know, historically, that car is well suited Max's driving style, so I think it is going to take him a few races. So, to be honest with you, although he was last, I'm not going to be too harsh on him. But Red Bull will be harsh on him. And how many races does it go until they make the swap and put Yuki Tsunoda in that car? You can see it happening already, can't you? If this is still the case, 7-8 races in, that's going to happen. But is Yuki going to find the same thing? As I say, we've seen so much of it now in history. Apart from Checo in his first season to 2 seasons, Checo wasn't too bad in the Red Bull. Obviously dropped off massively last year. Other than that, Ricciardo, obviously that was when Max was, you know, relatively a rookie in that first season and then the next season or so. So, you know, Max was still learning his trade when those were teammates, but Ricciardo could obviously handle the Red Bull. But we've now seen Albon, Perez, Gasly, and potentially Lawson. As I say, it's still early days on Lawson, but it's interesting. The thing is, if that is so suited to Max and Max decides to leave at the end of the year, where does that leave Red Bull with 2 drivers that are going to really struggle with a car, or they've got to really overhaul how the car performs? So, Nexus, why is Sainz shown as Red Bull? This is 2026, so in this universe, Carlos Sainz has moved to Red Bull. So yeah, if there's murmurings and Red Bull feel there is a chance of Max leaving, are they best to start to design that car so it's more, I guess, a rounded car? So other drivers, it will suit other drivers' styles, which might hamper Max a bit initially. Have you been playing this all day? No, not at all, no. We've literally just started this stream the last 15 minutes. There we go then, lap 7, the 2 Red Bulls leading the way.
Just on DRS this time.
See, Ricciardo is staying with Alonso, but that is just purely because he's getting the DRS. If we swap them around, we'd see the same thing. I was watching someone play this morning on it. Oh, no worries. No, wasn't me this morning. But we do stream this every Tuesday and Friday. So you find us live every Tuesday and Friday from 7 PM. And thanks for the follow, Formula Uno. Thanks, buddy. Right, let us... This isn't ideal with these two. Although Alonso... what needs to happen for Danny to become world champion? He needs to finish 5th or... Well, he's fighting Tsunoda for the Drivers' Championship. Doesn't matter where Tsunoda finishes. If Ricciardo finishes 5th or higher, then he'll win the championship. If Tsunoda's winning, then, as I say, 5th or higher will still be enough. If he's 6th or lower and Tsunoda wins, then it'll go to the last race. If Tsunoda's 2nd, then we could probably afford to finish 8th and so on. So we'll have to see how high up Tsunoda gets. But at the moment, Tsunoda's obviously bogged down in 10th after taking a grid penalty. But he will be quick because that RB is quick and he's got new parts in it. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch these around. I'm going to get Ricciardo to push a bit.
Okay. Understood.
Because Bottas, they're closing.
And we open the gap if we can. You're doing a good job.
Yep, understood.
Press and hold the overtake.
Copy.
Lewis, thanks for the follow.
mate.
Much appreciated.
Look after the tyres.
Okay.
Get Alonso to save his tyres, maybe. Fernando's on a 2-stopper, though, so he doesn't really need to look after his tyres too heavily.
Out the tyres.
Ricciardo's just doing enough, though.
Feel good.
P3. That'll be more than enough to claim the championship, especially while Tsunoda's P10. And we're just broken our teammates up a little bit there, and we're just managing the gap to Bottas. Which, yeah, Alonso's still got 2 seconds on Bottas, so that's the main thing. We just don't want Bottas getting in our DRS here. Sainz leads just about. The 2 Red Bulls squabbling. I've got a yellow flag. Let's check that's not Ricciardo. That's the main thing. As Bortoletto has had his 2nd lockup of the race.
No,
I think Gabriel will be coming in.
Struggling with the car, but that's
Oh,
just the
dear.
risk you take. But
Sod it, I'm going to watch the entire race. Haven't got anything to do anyway. Great stuff, buddy. Thanks for dropping in. Right, Bortoletto, what's his tyres just for...
How is this tire?
Lawson's down to 35%. Bortoletto's aren't too bad for 2 lockups, to be fair. All right, Ricciardo, let's ease off that battery now and there because we need to get to lap 26 on those
Okay, maximum
mediums.
focus on cooling down those rear tires.
Alonso's got Bottas 1.5 behind him, so we just need to manage that. Don't want them getting in our DRS. Wish this was a mobile game. F1 Clash is crap. Yeah, not the greatest F1 Clash. Bottas is kind of reeling Alonso in here, so let's just try and extend.
Overtake is available.
Break that
Overtake
DRS
available.
gap. Because Bottas is within 1.1. He's nearly got DRS on us. Tsunoda's up to P9 now, so Tsunoda is... And he's only there, to be fair. Tsunoda's only 15 seconds off the lead. But he probably needs a safety car, Tsunoda, to win this race. 15 seconds is quite a bit, especially on those Red Bulls. But Tsunoda is going to get quite high up here. He's up to 8th. It's not going to be long. He's back down to 9th, though, squabbling with Norris. It's not going to be long until Tsunoda is up against Fernando here. Fernando might have to do a Perez job. Abu Dhabi Est 2021. And keep Tsunoda behind as long as possible. 24 is really good. Probably doesn't take much to run it. Yeah, F1 Manager 24, definitely the best edition of the game. Easily. Right, let's settle that back down. Right,
Let's try to get the
so
deck
we can
down
show
on the
you the standings.
Okay.
So this is how it stands at the moment. Obviously, going into the last race, there's a maximum of 26 points available. Of course, 25 for a win, 1 for the fastest lap. As we currently stand, so this is a live standing, Danny Rick would have a 56-point margin on Tsunoda. So it's comfortably
2.6.
done and dusted as we stand. Right now, lap 11 of Abu Dhabi, but it can change. We know things can change in Abu Dhabi.
2.7.
And talking about change, there's a yellow flag. As long as
Car is off.
Michael Massey's not the race director, we should be
Yellow's
okay.
ahead.
Copy.
And Bortoletto is having an
Here we are,
absolute
then, looking
mare.
at turn 12. Whoa, and around they spin. And there'll be words had after this, I'm sure.
So that's 2 lockups and a spin for Bortoletto. He's still somehow got 52% margin in those mediums. Lawson's already stopped though, very early, because he had a big, obviously a more significant lockup. Say Prime Danny Rick had a competitive car. Do you think he could have won a World Driver Championship from 2016 to 2018? I think when Danny Rick was at Red Bull, he was definitely World Driver Championship material. Yes, it depends who his teammate was. I think the best way to look at it is if Danny Rick stayed at Red Bull until Red Bull were... Well, he was winning races with Red Bull, but Mercedes were winning the championship. If he stayed with them until, 2021, 2022 onwards, could he win a World Driver Championship then? Yes, but he would have had to beat Max. Could he have beaten Max? Don't know. They were very close and competitive when they were teammates, but you do have to remember that was very early on in Max's career, but I just wish we could have seen it. There's always, shoulda, woulda, coulda. There's about a lot of things like that in life, but Formula One, that's one of the things I would have loved to have seen. Ricciardo stayed with Red Bull until they become competitive and seen that Danny Rick, Max Verstappen teammate battle. He would have been the most competitive teammate Max has had. Perez didn't put up a fight, Albon, Gasly, all the rest of it. It would have been interesting to see, but could he have beaten it? He would have had to beat Max for the championship, could he?
Okay.
I think he could. Would he have? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Chanty, thanks for the rose. Much appreciated. And thanks for the follow. Philip, thanks for the follow. Watch your like, girl. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for pumping those likes up. If you are jumping into the stream, do smash that like button. And I've been banging on about Daniel Ricciardo. And whilst we've been doing that, Fernando Alonso is going to be overtaken by Valtteri Bottas here. Bottas on the hards, pushing on the hards though, because he's 58% on those hards. So I'm not too bothered about that at the moment. Controversial, don't think leaving Red Bull was a mistake.
Gap 2.6.
I don't necessarily think leaving Red Bull was a mistake. Going to Renault was a mistake, though. Although he performed okay at Renault, but they were never going to win a championship. So if his dream was to win a championship... But performance-wise, he was actually good in the Renault. His performance more dropped off when he went to McLaren, although he did win he won in Monza with McLaren, of course. But and we talked about Yuki Tsunoda being behind Fernando Alonso, and here he is. I don't think there's much we can do about this. He's going to have DRS.
Stick on your line.
We can give it a go to fight him back here, but Yuki Tsunoda's starting to fly now.
Okay.
Keep your head down. Car behind Piastri. Gap at 2.8.
Well, we have got DRS back on Yuki, but he's got DRS on Bottas, and Bottas is now on Ricciardo. We can't really push Ricciardo at the moment. As I said before we started this race, and if you didn't see the opening gambit to this race, I did say our race pace is not great round here, and we are now starting to see it, because as the AI push,
we need to protect.
They're on us. I'll get back to the chat shortly, but we've got a bit of defending to do here. And we'll have a look at the driver standings in a moment, because it's surely going to change, because I think potentially Bottas, but certainly Tsunoda is going to be up into probably P3 shortly. Zero, thanks for the follow. Tsunoda sets the fastest lap of the race. He is flying, and he needs every point he can get, so I doubt that will remain as the fastest lap. Plenty of time to go, but he does need that extra point. What season is it? 2026? Tixer probably butchered that, but thanks for the follow on Twitch. Alright, here we go. We use a lot of battery out of there. New cars into the pits. Bottas has got DRS on us. We are using a bit of the battery here.
Bottas in your DRS.
And what's that?
Ocon's had a pit stop issue. That's not going to bother us here. Ricciardo doing well using this battery, but it is going to mean we're not going to have much battery later on. Obviously, we can go for a bit of a top-up phase. But we're down to 16%. They're really pushing, aren't they? I mean, look at Tsunoda. He's in 68% mediums as well, so he's got more tire margin. Tsunoda can definitely win this race. Once he clears Bottas and Ricciardo, he's going to have a real good pace here. Alonso just kind of trundling along. He's now got Hülkenberg on his back. So, yeah, we're struggling at this phase. We can't really push the tyres. There's not much I can do about it. We've used more tyre than we want to anyway. Ricciardo's just survived an onslaught from Bottas. But yeah, as I say, getting back to that Ricciardo conversation, it's I can definitely see why he chose to leave Red Bull at that time.
Okay, Bottas is in your DRS now.
But as I say that, I don't think we can talk about Ricciardo. We need to talk about Ricciardo in game because Bottas is closing with that DRS and he's on the inside, but Ricciardo closes it off. Bottas is compromised and Tsunoda's going to squeeze through. Not great news for us. And Alonso has lost the position to Hülkenberg at the same time. But our championship challenger, Yuki Tsunoda, started, I think, P12 with a grid penalty. And he's nearly up to Danny Rick and into P3, although Bottas challenges him back and Bottas is back past him. So we delay his progress for a little while. That's what we've got to do. We've got to delay him as much as possible from stopping him getting to these Red Bulls. So Tsunoda is becoming a bit frustrated. He's definitely got the pace of Bottas and ourselves. As Alonso gets back past Hülkenberg, but the longer he's stuck behind Bottas and ourselves, the race victory becomes difficult for him.
Hamilton is in
as Hamilton's into the pits.
Hamilton is in this lap.
Ricciardo, we have been using a bit of fuel there. Alonso's okay on fuel. We've got to get to lap 26 with these tyres. Danny Rick's comfortable with that at the moment. 23 with Alonso. We've just broken DRS to Bottas. Yeah, no, I can see why Ricciardo left Red Bull, but I think he was trying to achieve a bit of a Lewis Hamilton, and he looked at Renault, you know, the works team at that time, being Renault in the name, Renault the power engine as well, and he thought, you know, maybe that's a great chance, you know, because there was talk before that you wouldn't win a championship being a customer team. You have to be a works team, and Renault obviously were a works team, and I think he thought he was going to do a bit of a Hamilton, but it just didn't work, and then downfall from there, really.
Yes, let's go.
Right, Tsunoda's cleared Bottas again, and now we're not going to be doing much about this because there he goes. Tsunoda's got the pace, and off he goes into P3. Now he's 16 and a half seconds behind the Red Bulls. Let's see how quick he closes that. So I'm bound to forget that, but 16 and a half seconds is the gap. I remember the Danny to Ferrari rumours in late 2020. That would have been better than McLaren. Surprised they didn't go for it. Yeah, I don't know what happened with McLaren, really. It just never worked, did it? Don't think he ever got settled with that car. We've got another yellow flag. Spun. Please don't say it's Portoletto. That would be the fourth time.
Okay, there are yellows ahead.
No, it's Fittipaldi. What are Tsunoda's tyres like? They were good. He's got 5% on us. He's got the best mediums, apart from those that are stopped on the grid. So Tsunoda is absolutely flying. And here comes Bottas again.
On Bottas has DRS now.
Valtteri Bottas is pushing, but he's 40% on his hard, so he's going to get the overtake done potentially. Although we've got inside here, might be able to force him out. We do a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what to do, man.
Don't stress.
Freddie, how did you get Audi and F1 Manager? If you play on PC, you can download mods. Unfortunately, if you're on console, you won't be able to do that. But if you're on PC, it's just a mod that you can download. So Tsunoda's already taken a second out of those ahead of him.
The last 2 laps, I got quite a lot of vibration, but not sure if it's tyre or brakes.
Alonso and Hülkenberg really having a battle back there. As Piastri pits. Bottas, although he's all over us, as I say, he's on hards and he's got them down to 38%, so he's absolutely rinsing through that tyre. Same with Hulkenberg behind Alonso. Say, Ricciardo needs to finish at least 5th. At the moment, he's got a battle on for 5th, but he's got a 4-second buffer. The only problem is, a lot of these down here, Hamilton, well, especially Hamilton, but also now Piastri, Leclerc, and soon to be Bottas, will be pitting at least, what, 7-8 laps earlier than Ricciardo. So when Ricciardo takes his first stop, we're 4th now. We might be 9th or 10th by the time we stop.
Full concentration, anything can happen still.
And there goes Bottas. So as I say, we've got to hope this one stop's going to work, because we are now 5th. I think when we make the first stop, we're probably going to be about 10th. It's Ricciardo claims back that position, same as what Alonso's lost 2 positions now, though. What's happened here? Norris is now in the mix. Norris is on good tyre life as well, so this might get a bit squeaky bum time later.
You're doing a good job. Currently P4 still.
Burn off Alonso's extra fuel. Yeah, I mean, I might as well save it while he's in this traffic. If he gets ahead of those two, I'll burn it off so he can try and pull away. Honestly, first half of 2021 wasn't even that bad for Danny. He had some moments of brilliance, of course, the Monza win. Yeah, no, he did get the win in Monza. But again, Lando did have really good pace that day in Monza as well, and they just asked them to stay in position. So I'm not to say Danny wouldn't won that race, but they didn't let them fight, so who knows. But yeah, as I say, I just think it's a shame. I would love to see Danny Ricciardo just stay at Red Bull and see what that played out like. Alright, we might have to burn a little bit of fuel though, because he's starting to fall back a little bit. Right, Bottas is going to have another go on Ricciardo here.
Copy.
But Bottas might be into the pits by the end of this lap. Verstappen's taking those softs quite far, to be fair. He should be in at the end of the lap. Tsunoda's not really gaining too much on them now. Rob the Bear, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Let's say if you're jumping in the stream, you haven't already, do smash that like button. Really helps me out. Alright, so if we want to look at the championship quickly, let's say we need 26 points to claim it today, and it has reduced, but it's now 39 points as we stand. So at the moment, Danny Rick would still be the world champion. Can't really see that on your screen there. There you go. Yeah, 39 points. So Danny Rick would still become world champion.
Bottas stopped.
And Bottas has dived into the pits. So has Verstappen. So has Hulkenberg. And what have we got? Lap 23. I think we can push with Alonso for a little while here. If you're jumping into this stream for the first time, then... was it 29 points, was it? Ah, 39 points. 39 points. 9 to 61 makes 70. 30 to 70 makes 400. Don't do me like that. I'm tripping. Good. Well, to be fair, I wouldn't surprise me if I did get it wrong. But no, it's currently 39 points as we stand. Right, so as I say, if you jump into the stream for the first time, we normally are on track for most of the action, but we've got... Well, actually, we will be staying on track because Alonso's got back past Norris. So I was going to forward on to the pit stops, but let's stay on board with Alonso as he fights Lando Norris.
2.5.
And let's use a bit of battery, see if we can break the DRS to Lando. Fernando and Lando definitely on a one-stopper here. Hard to tell what the others are doing, really. Scott, the Constructors Championship has been won by ourselves, so that is already wrapped up. Just whether Danny Rick can claim the Drivers' Championship. How long have you been with your own team in this? This is the 3rd season, so we've got one race left after this, so it'll be the end of the 3rd season with this team. So Sainz and Russell into the pits, so Tsunoda and Ricciardo promoted to 1st and 2nd. But as I say, I think Ricciardo will be as low as 10th or 11th by the time he completes his first stop. So this could get interesting. And Alonso.
Okay, head down. We keep focusing.
Carlos Sainz has just
Sainz coming
stopped, so we won't be staying on
3
Sainz for
seconds.
too long. When's Danny Rick pitting? Lap 26, I believe. Yeah, lap 26. And Alonso lap 23. So Alonso's a couple of laps away. Carlos Sainz will be getting back past Alonso. What race will be the season conclusion? Brazil. Yeah, correct. Brazil. We've changed the calendar, so Brazil is the season finale.
Gap 2.5. Car behind Sainz.
All right, so Sainz will get back past us, so I think we can just forward on now to Fernando's stop. As I say, we're not really fighting Sainz because he's on a different strategy. He's already stopped. So let's get Alonso in next lap.
Okay, head down, no problem. Alonso behind you. He's 2.5 behind.
Lucas, hello buddy, how's it going?
Okay, so box.
Say Danny isn't guaranteed the World Drivers' Championship now. What needs to happen in Interlagos? All depends here, really. If he doesn't claim it today, Yuki will probably be about 22, 23 points behind. So Danny Rick would probably only need to finish 8th or 9th in Brazil to claim it. If it doesn't happen today, as I say, if Danny Rick finished 5th or higher today, he will be World Drivers' Champion. Oh, Lucas, thanks for the gifts. Much appreciated. Connor, thanks for the follow. Abu Dhabi, yes, indeed. We're in Abu Dhabi. I'm all right, thanks. How are you? Good to hear. Yes, I'm well, thank you. Right, Alonso will be in shortly then. And then we'll see where Alonso is. Ricciardo's got to go further. Ricciardo one stopping. Is it going to work for him? He did say it was going to be the quickest way round here for Danny Rick. Night Fox, thanks for the follow. Chris, thanks for the follow. What's your team name? We are Lotus. As you see here.
Oops.
Chris King, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. Right, here we go then. First stop of the day. Hopefully it's a nice clean one for Fernando. Yes, we like that. 2 seconds flat. Let's just see where Fernando comes out then. What I do like about Abu Dhabi is this pit exit going under the track into the tunnel. Very nice, always like that. He's going to come out. Oh, God. Are we going to clear poor chair here? Hopefully, we'll not be bogged down behind them. Yes. All right, let's attack. Get those tyres up to temp. Push Danny's tyres for now. What is he? Lap 26. Yeah, we probably go aggressive. Can't go too much more than that as Sainz got back past him. So it's mathematically not guaranteed win, but it's practically a world drive. Practically, but if he gets taken out of the race somewhere, then it's going to get nerve-wracking.
On DRS.
No, this is what we don't want. Teo Porcher getting past us and squabbling.
And you can pick up the pace.
Oh dear. Perez cutting corners back there. Who is EFI and who are they driving for? That is Enzo Fittipaldi driving for Audi. Here he is, Enzo Fittipaldi. As I say, we've got the Audi car in here for 2026. Right, where are we at? Lap 25. Lando Norris is now stopping, so Alonso should clear him. But Alonso is 11th, so as I say, Ricciardo might be 13th by the time he comes out. Can't remember how far back. I think Alonso is 1.5 behind him. So, yeah, this is going to be a little bit tricky here for Ricciardo. Tsunoda is second, but yet to stop. But if he's one stopping, which he is, let's face it, he's lap 25 now. He's on a net pit stop with Sainz and Verstappen now. So Tsunoda, I think Tsunoda's got a great chance to win this race. So we do have to finish 5th or higher. If not, it's going to go to the final race in Brazil. And anything can happen. If we get taken out of that race, oh, God, who knows? Enzo Fittipaldi in an Audi. Yes, indeed. Hold on. Let me just refresh my chat, which is lost. There we go. Right. Let's push Ricciardo on. He's coming in next lap. So what's he going on? Hards, isn't he? Because we're one stopping. All right, let's just forward him on.
Box, box.
Box confirmed.
And what we do need is a clean stop. Alonso got a clean stop. It wouldn't really matter for Alonso. In all honesty, the Constructors is bagged. But Ricciardo, we can't have a sloppy stop. Here we go then. Alonso's tyres where we need them to be.
Cool the tyres.
Here comes Ricciardo then.
Copy.
I think he could be as low as 13th or 5th or 16th here. Ricciardo's going to be somewhere between 10th and 16th. Oh no. No. Not now. Oh
Okay.
no.
Alrighty.
Michael Massey's joined our pit crew. 6.3. 4-second delay. I think we're going to be 16th here. Or 15th. 15th, sorry. Yeah, we're going to be 15th. Oh dear, Danny Rick's got work to do here. Oh, we cursed it. We said about a pit crew error. We shouldn't have mentioned it. Oh no. Oh no.
Russell 1.3 in front.
That is not good. Right, what does that mean as of right now? It's 25 points. So technically, it would go to the last race, and Tsunoda would have to win it. If Tsunoda won it with the fastest lap and we didn't get a point, Tsunoda would become the world champion. Let's make that a bigger screen there. Yeah, so the current gap is 25 points. So as it finished right now, it's going to the last race of the season, and Tsunoda would need a win. Is it race wins the difference if you're level on points? I think it's race wins, isn't it? So actually, if Tsunoda won the race, the last race, and they are level on points, Tsunoda's got more race wins. I think Tsunoda would win. I think that's what happens on a tiebreaker. Do tell me if I'm wrong, though. I'm sure it's race wins when there was a chance of Max and Lewis being on the same points in 2021. I'm sure they were talking as race wins. Tsunoda and a science crash. Yeah, Tsunoda crashes out. That's going to be all over. Yes, it is. Goes down to race wins. Yeah, I thought it was race wins. So yeah, Tsunoda would definitely have the edge on that.
We are happy with tires.
Because he's got six race wins to our 4. And of course, if he won the last race, that'd be even more. So we can't reach that. So Tsunoda's got the race wins in his advantage. But that means if Yuki finishes 3rd this race and Danny gets 9th, Danny wins the World Drivers' Champion. Yeah, I think... indeed. I think that was then based on Tsunoda being... Yeah, that was based on Tsunoda being 2nd, and he's now dropped to 3rd. So if Tsunoda finished 3rd and we finish out of the points, we'll still win the championship. And Tsunoda's into the pits. I think Tsunoda's going to win this race, though. This is getting a bit nerve-wracking, isn't it? Safety car. Safety car would be nice.
Tyres are in good shape. Okay.
Although on a one-stopper, safety car is probably better for the rest of the grid if they're two-stopping now. Yeah, in actual fact, I don't think a safety car would work for Ricciardo because everyone ahead of him could get a free pit stop near enough. Tsunoda has stopped and he's come out in P6, so that's the difference. He's on hards. He's going to the end. The 2 Red Bulls need to stop again. Tsunoda's got a great chance of winning this race. Ricciardo's tyres. And this is the only thing with the one stop. We don't have much margin on what we can do, but here we go.
Okay.
Ricciardo's got to start making some moves here.
Your race is now.
Get some points back on the board. And the first of those will be George Russell.
Overtake available.
Okay, understood.
Here we go, Ricciardo on the outside. George doesn't want to take the corner. He cuts half of it. But we're going to get past George Russell. So we're up from 15th to 14th. Now we've got Perez ahead of us. So Perez in Leclerc's DRS. It's still pretty, well... Yeah, Danny Rick's a long way back off the points at the minute, isn't he? Well, not actually. 10th, he's not too far. It's about 8 seconds off 10th. But he's about 13 seconds off 9th. So Ricciardo's got a lot to do here. Just have Alonso crash into Tsunoda. Yuki's like half a minute behind Max. Yeah, I just think with Max's tyre's already 55%, so he's going to have to box onto some softs. I think Yuki will be taking some pace out of him now. Yeah, it might be a challenge for Yuki to get Max. I think Yuki can definitely get Sainz, though. He can definitely get back to P2. Patrick, thanks for the follow. Chakwi Kevin, thanks for the follow.
Keep your head down.
Right, Danny Rick's getting upset. Don't overdrive it, Danny Rick. Come on. Let's get past here and we'll push on the fuel. Alright, he's past Perez. Perez lost the DRS to Leclerc, and Leclerc's dropped him by 3 seconds now. We need to push up. How do I improve my car? My driver isn't happy with it. The main thing to focus on is always cornering. So if you're designing the car, I would always go underfloors, front wings, max out the cornering speed. Put one engineer on it. You get more expertise, and put it on normal design, so go a little bit longer on it. And then always double up on that. So once you've done one underfloor, do another. As we've got a yellow flag. We've got an issue here for Lewis Hamilton, I think.
Okay, understood.
Hamilton has crashed. What has happened here then? Alonso was behind him. It's a big lockup for Lewis, and he's then just decided to bump into the barrier.
Okay, keep an eye on your battery.
Right, that's given a position to Alonso.
Went off then.
And Ricciardo's used his battery.
Follow the line of the car in front as
Alonso
much as you can
all
to
over
avoid
Albon
the
here, who's down to 44%. And Alonso straight through there. Good work from Fernando. Fernando's race is going quite well now.
Cancel or reduce lift off where possible.
Copy.
We also do have a tips video on YouTube, Patrick, so if you want to check that out, if you're watching on TikTok, then head to the profile, in my profile, in the bio, you'll find the YouTube link. Head over to there. In the playlist, there is F1 Manager Tips, and you'll find a design one in there to check out as well. Albon, though, is not giving this up, is he? And he's straight back through on Fernando.
That's Alex ahead.
All right, Ricciardo. Fighting Matteo Portier next.
Okay,
A good thing for Ricciardo is Hamilton, one of the cars ahead of him, obviously now got damage and a big lockup. So Hamilton will be in surely. I think that will only be a front wing for Hamilton. Wasn't major impact. What season are you in? This is 2026, third season, as Ricciardo is past Teo Portier now. And we're into 12th as Hamilton is pitting now. Let's see if we... I don't know, I can't really see front wing damage though. Is he missing an end plate there on the left? Yeah, he's missing an end plate on the his left arm right as we looked at it. Yeah, they're changing the front wing. That's a long old stop. Yeah, his damage is cleared, but that's a long old stop for Lewis Hamilton. So that's another position out of the way for Ricciardo. As Alonso and Albon continue to battle away. Let's just use a bit of battery and get rid of Albon if we can.
Overtake. Push now, push.
So is Daniel Ricciardo going to become a World Driver Champion here today? At the moment, he would be a World Driver Champion because Tsunoda is 4th. He needs to be at least 2nd and Ricciardo not get any points to keep it going. But if Ricciardo gets into the points, then Tsunoda needs to win the race. And Ricciardo needs 5th or higher, and that doesn't matter what Tsunoda does. He would still become the champion of the world. Right, Alonso has broken that to Albon. And Ricciardo is now on Leclerc. And then it's Lando Norris. Blair Miles, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well.
Russell behind us.
Right, here we go then. Danny Rick for a point. Every point matters right now. What we don't need is any accidents Megan, thanks for sharing the live. Much appreciated.
Our next car ahead is Leclerc.
Right behind Leclerc. We'll get DRS now, though. So this should be the moment we move back into the points with Daniel Ricciardo. And here we go. DRS open. Using a lot of fuel here, which we're going to balance off now. And Danny Rick into P10. And that is a World Championship point. And now it's 3 seconds to Norris.
Nice.
But how quick are those going to be on a two-stopper
Norris in front of you.
later on?
3 seconds.
Leclerc's definitely two-stopping. Lando is one-stopping. Lando, I think apart from ahead of Ricciardo now, apart from Lando and Tsunoda, everyone else is going to pit again. Neo, thanks for the follow. Yeah, Norris and Tsunoda are going to stay out. I think everyone else is going to have to pit. Alonso 1.4 to Bottas here. Used quite a bit of fuel as well.
Let's have a lift off.
All right, who's next going to be in the pits? Piastri and Albon then in the top 10. And that should further promote Ricciardo then.
So Bottas ahead.
Tsunoda's progress. He's 30 seconds off Max now. So yeah, I don't think Tsunoda can win the race. His tyres are only 89% and Max has got to come in shortly. Depends if Max goes... Yeah, Max should win the race. Max should win the race. I think Tsunoda will finish P2. I think Max is going to win at Tsunoda P2. So I think we need 8th. If we finish 8th and Tsunoda P2, I think we'll still win the championship. Right, 2 seconds. Albon's 7 seconds back. We've got a bit of downtime here, so let's just forward on. Alonso trying to close the gap to Bottas. Ocon's got a mechanical fault. Verstappen boxes now. But I think he's going to be fine. He's going to be ahead of his... Oh, long stop, though. That was a bit of a delay on the stop. So I think Sainz will be passing, but I think he'll still be out ahead of Hülkenberg here, won't he? Or will he? He's got to go under the... Hülkenberg might get past him. No, he will be out. Oh, I don't know. No, Verstappen does clear Hülkenberg, so that was key, really. Verstappen on hards, though, as Albon and Piastri pit as well. So it's only 14% tyre life between Tsunoda and Verstappen.
1.3.
And he's only 3 seconds off him. So if Tsunoda's got better pace in that car, he might still be able to win the race. Right, so Ricciardo has cleared Piastri and Albon, who have both stopped. It's just how quick their pace is going to be in this final 22 laps and whether they can get back to Ricciardo.
Norris 1.6.
We're slowly gaining on Lando.
Okay, keep it clean. Focus on the pace.
Maybe one edits. Thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. And Alonso is nearly there on Valtteri Bottas. Let's give him a little bit of a help.
Overtake is available.
Right, next
Overtake
pit
available.
stops. Lap 44 for Fernando. Okay. Obviously, no pit stop for Ricciardo. He's going to the end on those hards. Unless we get a safety car, then Ricciardo will be in for a set of softs, depending on how long's left. Oh, a red flag. Oh, Piastri and Leclerc are out. Well, that has probably just handed the World Drivers' Championship to Daniel Ricciardo. What has happened here? Oh, didn't look to be too much in it. Oh, the Mercedes nearly right into them.
And for the crew watching on in the garage, that really must have...
That, I think, has handed the championship potentially to Daniel Ricciardo here. Set of mediums, I think, from here. What will the softs do? The mediums, yeah, I think mediums are safer. I think mediums are the way to go. Who's the race engineer for Ricciardo? Pierre Hamlin. So Leclerc and Piastri
Not for
out.
the first time today, the drivers are
Does
lined
bring
up for
Tsunoda in
waiting
contention for the
lights.
win now, of course. But it means Ricciardo's got a great chance to finish at least fifth. He's up to
And away
P8.
we go.
And here we go then. We're back underway. Carlos Sainz, gets us underway. Max Verstappen second. Hülkenberg third. Tsunoda fourth. Both Piastri and Leclerc are out. Piastri gets a penalty they'll take next race. And Alonso and Ricciardo moving up early on here. We have got some soft runners. Have a look at that in a moment.
Less of a lift.
Copy.
Giorgio, thanks for the follow.
Stop the lift off, please.
Yeah.
Ricciardo having a look at Fernando Alonso. Was there another accident back then? No, there wasn't. Ricciardo's past Fernando Alonso. And we have to ask Fernando not... Well, Fernando's on don't fight teammate. That's why he's let him go then. But that's fine. Fernando needs to do the teammate thing here now. Right, tyres then. Sainz on mediums. Verstappen hard. Hülkenberg, Tsunoda and Bottas softs. It's all mixed up here in terms of tyres. But Ricciardo is where he needs... Well, actually, he's not. He's P6 if Tsunoda won the race. But Leclerc and Piastri definitely helped us out massively there.
Overtake available.
Okay, understood.
Now, Ricciardo, let's see if he can get some work done now on Bottas. The two Red Bulls are pulling a margin here.
Recharge on.
Yeah, copy.
I think Hülkenberg's about to be eaten up by Yuki Tsunoda here, though. But here comes Daniel Ricciardo then. But we've already seen cars can collide here, and we really don't need an accident for Danny Rick. And he's safely through then, Daniel Ricciardo.
Our next one is Hülkenberg.
Don't want to burn those tyres out too quickly, though. We should have good margin in them. Ricciardo into P5. That's all he needs to do to become a World Driver Champion here today.
Okay, maximum focus on pulling down those rear tires.
Understood.
But surely he wants to go for glory and try and beat these RBs
Okay, copy.
to a podium. Verstappen and Sainz have absolutely flown away at the start here. Tsunoda's using a lot of his tyre life, but can't do anything about it. Hülkenberg's dropped 3 seconds to the leaders.
P5, P5.
Really, RB would have team orders there, and Hülkenberg would be letting Tsunoda go, but they're not. Alonso try and get past Bottas. Here, Gasly in the Audi in the points at the moment. That'd be massive. There's a fight for 7th going on in the Constructors that they're involved in. Here comes Alonso from a long way back then on Valtteri Bottas. And we're going to move past him and get DRS to pull away, but Bottas keeps DRS on Danny Rick. Tsunoda looks like he's finally making the move on his teammate. This is a drag race now with Valtteri. And we are through on Valtteri Bottas. And now Fernando Alonso just needs to defend. Sit in the DRS of his teammate.
0.8.
And defend Danny Rick's position. And we can calm down a little bit. Kobe, come on. Ricciardo, indeed. Addy, thanks for the follow. Tsunoda still battling away with his teammate Hülkenberg. There is still 18 laps to go, including this one.
Okay, copy.
Yes, softs might be hurting at that rate, Tsunoda's rate.
Copy.
But Ricciardo, as it stands, is going to become the World Drivers' Champion for 2026. There we go. Verstappen leads, then Sainz, then Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, Ricciardo and Alonso. A bit of a Noah's Ark here in the top 6, 2 by 2 for Verstappen and Sainz in the Red Bull, then the 2 RBs, then the 2 Lotus. We've got Leclerc and Piastri out. Hamilton bogged down in 14th. Obviously a big loser with taking that long pit stop for the new front wing and then a red flag. And Tsunoda is going to be re-overtaken by his teammate. This is not working for Yuki Tsunoda, is it? If the two RBs collide, it would all be over. Tsunoda can still win this race, but he doesn't want his teammate battling him, and he's going to continue to battle him. And I think Hulkenberg is going to be past him again. Not working for Yuki. And it's bringing us right to the rear of them now. And unlike the RBs, our two teammates are not fighting. That has been called off. As Lawson's got a mechanical fault. Ricciardo can see the rear wing of Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki is being frustrated by his teammate. And Daniel Ricciardo just needs to stay here. And it's going to be enough for him. And I don't see a challenge coming from behind, to be fair, for Danny Rick. I think Danny Rick is going to become the Drivers' Champion here today. The World Drivers' Champion. Because I can't see who's going to take 5th place off him.
Understood.
The only thing here is Alonso's looking very good in terms of his battery. But we don't really want to risk letting Alonso go. Right, Tsunoda is back in front of Hulkenberg again, but here comes Hulkenberg to try and reclaim that on his teammate, and he is going to do that again. And Danny Rick is looking for an opportunity here on Yuki Tsunoda. Around the outside, that's not going to be able to work. 5-1 territory win-win. If he gets the move done, he gets P4. If he takes Yuki out with him, also a World Drivers' Champion. Indeed, indeed. Deep and hello, buddy. Thanks for the gift. Much appreciated. Danny Rick's used quite a bit of battery here, though. That's the only thing. But Tsunoda's tyre's down to 80%. He is rinsing through those softs. Hulkenberg has closed up to Sainz, but Verstappen now leads by 3 seconds. Max Verstappen looks like he's going to win this race. But we don't really care who wins. If Ricciardo can win this championship here today, then we have nothing to worry about once we get to Brazil.
And Alonso has DRS.
Alonso does have DRS, but he's not going to challenge his teammate here. It's not so much the red flag helped us, it was the red flag, it was the two that caused it. Because without them, we would have been further down on that restart, and it would have been a lot harder for us to get through the field. But that just took two highly competitive cars out of the field as Hulkenberg and Tsunoda continue to fight, and this is just not good stuff. For the RBs, Tsunoda can't get into third, let alone challenge for the victory now. Antonio, thanks for the follow. We can see Sainz up the road. There's Sainz, but Max is 4 seconds clear now. And we've got 4 seconds on Bottas, so the championship is looking like it's going to be in the bag for Danny Rick. Do we take the risk and try and challenge now for the win? Well, potentially not the win, but P2, or at least a podium. HJC, thanks for the follow. Finley, is this game free yet? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It's not free as standard, but I don't know if it's on a Game Pass or anything. I play on PC, so I'm not sure. What does Ricky need for the title? Currently at least P5. If he finishes P5, it doesn't matter what Tsunoda does. Tsunoda could win and Danny Rick finish P5 and he'll still be champion. And we've got a 5-second buffer to essentially those behind us, although Alonso is closer. But Alonso's not going to challenge Danny Rick, so the title at the moment is looking in the bag. But obviously there's some close quarters here. So if there's an accident to be had, that's why I'm saying, do we risk challenging these ahead of us? As we say, we can challenge Tsunoda, of course, because if we take him out of the race with us, it don't matter. Right, there's Sainz. He's used quite a lot of his medium tyre in actual fact. Tsunoda's recovered a bit of his soft compared to Hulkenberg.
Head on.
Gasly's still P9 for Audi. Aston Martin and Albon are getting a point as well. So there is a championship battle in the Constructors for P7. We'll have a look at the results of that. But that could be interesting with Audi and Aston Martin scoring.
Keep looking after your tyres. Keep looking after your tyres. You did a very good job.
All right, we're in a bit of a DRS train here. Tsunoda has DRS on his teammate Hulkenberg again. He needs to get through this. He does. And can he get down the road? This is the problem, but now he has got DRS on Sainz, so he should maintain it over Hulkenberg this time. Luke, thanks for the follow. Finley, thanks for the gift. Much appreciated. Thanks for the roses, buddy. So Tsunoda up to P3 and now challenging Carlos Sainz. But it's 5 seconds to Max. Max is using a lot of the hard though. So Tsunoda, I don't know, he's still got an opportunity here. If he can clear Sainz and pull away, but he struggled to do that on his teammate. So whether he can do it on Sainz, let's wait and see. There is Max Verstappen that leads the race. We're watching a bit of Yuki Tsunoda. Who's in the other Audi? See, we've got Gasly and Enzo Fittipaldi in the Audis.
That's okay.
Ronan, thanks for the follow. Here we go then. Yuki Tsunoda. Looking for the move on Carlos Sainz. Can't get it done, but he's going to have a good opportunity here now with DRS. Here comes Yuki then. Alonso just needs to use a bit of that battery. Yuki Tsunoda clear of Carlos Sainz, but can he pull away? This is the problem he's had.
Honestly, I don't think we can do much more.
Ricciardo, don't get upset, Ricciardo. You're doing enough. Now, this is the problem Tsunoda had with Hulkenberg. Is Sainz going to get him back? He is. And that is the problem Tsunoda's had since this restart. What Tsunoda really needs to do is wait for the second DRS zone to get those moves done. We've got the best tyres really at the moment in terms of tyre life. No problem, mate. Seeing you on my For You page and love the content. Thanks, buddy. Daniel, thanks for the follow. Right, Hulkenberg is at risk dropping out of the DRS here, as Tsunoda has bullied his way through past Sainz there. Alonso needs to catch up to this train again here. Tomic, hello. How's it going, buddy?
Pretty stable at the moment.
Okay, so it's closing up a little bit.
Ricciardo then into the DRS of Nico Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg is having a go back, and Sainz is alongside Yuki Tsunoda again, and Sainz is back through. So just not working out for Yuki Tsunoda. Not that we're bothered about that, of course. Do you do commentary? No, okay, not as such. No problem. Only the odd talking bits through here, but... Tomic, good to hear, buddy. Oh, and Danny Rick squeezing past Sainz, who was with Tsunoda briefly in P2, and he's nearly down to P5 here. In fact, he is down to P5. So Danny Rick now into P4. Although Tsunoda's into P2, this is not going to matter.
Nice.
Okay,
Sainz having a look back.
So that's P4. Our next one is Hulkenberg.
So as it stands... Oh no! Oh no! We haven't put Alonso on... Okay, we'll deal with that in a minute. It doesn't matter with Alonso. Anyway, if you send that message pop up, you know what I've done wrong there. Right, the current gap is 40 points. Tsunoda needs it to be 26 or under, so we will be comfortable to become Drivers' Champion today. What has just popped up there, and you'll see it here, is I completely forgot we went mediums with Fernando in his first stint, and then when it's a red flag, we've put him on another medium. So he will be disqualified if we finish the race there. Unfortunately, we're going to have to box Fernando, which is probably going to mean he doesn't score any points. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. He can't challenge for a title. And we've already won the Constructors, but that's a bit of a boo-boo on us. But Ricciardo, let's try and get him a podium, shall we? Let's try and get him past Yuki Tsunoda. Here he goes, down the inside on Yuki, and Yuki, championship dream, is being shattered here. He needs to win the race. He needs Ricciardo 6th or lower, and it's not going to happen for Yuki. Can Ricciardo win this race now? That's what we need to focus on. That's what we need to try and achieve with Daniel Ricciardo. And Alonso, unfortunately, that is on us, Fernando. Yeah. He's had 3 sets of mediums this race. He needs to have a different compound, of course. How far back is he going to be here? He couldn't have got a podium, Alonso. Probably not. So, if he's ahead of Albon, that... Oh, God, he's not going to be ahead of Albon, is he? Oh, no. He's going to be far back on this. Oh, dear. Okay, Fernando. Anyway, let's get back to this, because this is more important, because Ricciardo's cleared Tsunoda, and he's now on Tsunoda's teammate, Nico Hülkenberg.
14.
The car ahead is Hamilton.
And he can't quite get it done on Hülkenberg, but he's got a second stab of it, and this is what Tsunoda wasn't doing. Ricciardo does it the first time of asking, and he's through, and we're going to push on the battery, the fuel, and tyres, and try and meet Max Verstappen at the front of this race, and try and win it. Win the championship in style. The voice suits it. Thanks, buddy. Have you got any F1 Manager save ideas to do? I can't get on board with it, but I love the game. It depends what you want to do, really. It's, I think there's plenty of ideas that can be had. Depends if you like playing long seasons in terms of multiple seasons, or just sort of a one-season wonder. Alonso passed Hamilton. How did RB manage to be competitive in 2 seasons? It's the 2026 regulation reset, effectively, is why they're in contention. They're just a team that seems to have nailed these 2026 regs. Right, Ricciardo, he's closing that gap. Alonso, is he on high aggression? He is. Alonso, unfortunately, we had to box. Can we get him some points? Surely we can.
1.7.
It has promoted, and Aston Martin, well, the Aston Martin and Audi were in the points, so Haas is now in the points as well. They're in that battle for 7th, so that's going to be interesting to see what that all looks like. George Russell, then, is the next victim for Fernando Alonso, and Alonso is through into 11th. He should be able to get to at least P8 here, Fernando. But if you're jumping into the stream, you haven't already, do me a massive favour and hit that like button, really helps me out. And let me know in the comments what is going to be your sprint podium in the morning. Well, well, depends where you are, but in a few hours' time, what is the sprint podium going to look like? And Fernando's got some serious pace on these fresh softs, and he's on the inside of Pierre Gasly. And he's right alongside Teo Porcher, near enough here.
Behind 2.3.
Alonso is flying on those new softs. And he is back into the points. Magson's got a mechanical fault. Alonso's surely going to set the fastest lap on these tyres as well in a minute. Right, Ricciardo still 2.2 off Max.
Full concentration.
Got better tyre life. We can continue pushing. I don't want to push too much on the battery. I want to save a bit if we can get there. But Ricciardo looks like he's going to achieve at least P2 here. He is going to become a World Driver Champion here today, unless he has a retirement. And here comes Fernando Alonso on Teo Porcher, and he's making easy work of these overtakes. Got DRS to pull away and to gain on Alex Albon, and he should comfortably be into P8 shortly. And who knows how far he can get here, Fernando. We go straight on to Albon then. Can we get this done on this next DRS zone. I think we probably will, you know. Don't want to be there, though, Fernando. Fernando, we're going to get out of the gearbox of Albon. No, you're not. All right, yours going Max first, Piastri second, Hamilton third, Daniel Verstappen P1, Norris P2, Hamilton P3, Neo Verstappen, Hamilton, Antonelli, bold.
Yeah, mate.
So everyone so far fancying Max for the win. I still think that, as I might be a bit biased, but I still think the McLaren's got a bit of pace in the car.
6 more laps.
So I'm going to go for a Piastri win, Lando second, Hamilton third.
Okay, tires are hot.
And Alonso on Alex Albon this time, and he is through now into P8. And he can use a little bit more of that battery to get underway.
Overtake is available. Overtake available.
I'm hopeful of Ferrari 1-2, that's a bit more realistic. Yeah, Leclerc's, although it's difficult because you only get one practice session, of course, but Leclerc's seen a little bit off it compared to Lewis this weekend so far.
Did just get DRS.
Okay.
I think a no-nonsense Max will jump Lewis at the start of the sprint.
Out of
Yeah,
time.
as in the wall bad.
Okay.
Oh, Antonelli, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because I said to a friend actually that I think we'll see a lot of Max and Lewis battles this year. Although I wasn't expecting it to be for say P1, P2. I was expecting them to be, you know, battling for say P3 to P5 a lot this year. Those two, but it's good to see them battling. We do love a Max Lewis fight, and we should get one tomorrow.
So focus on just bringing your tyre temperatures back.
Right, I'm just trying to manage where we're at here. So we're good. So Ricciardo is now 1.2 off Max Verstappen. Ricciardo could win this race. It's been a while since we last won a race, I think. And Ricciardo could win it to claim the championship in style here. Alonso's right on Lando Norris here. Alonso is absolutely flying here. He didn't set the fastest lap though somehow. But here comes Fernando again. Fernando then on Lando Norris. And he's through on Lando. The next victim will be Bottas, but then it's 6 seconds to Sainz. That's where Alonso was, wasn't he? P6. So Alonso might, even though we had to stop again, get back to where he was. Ricciardo, he's getting ever so close to Max Verstappen. We had this before. We had this in Monaco where we could see Max's rear wing, but we could not get close enough or get to him. And the problem is we've used a lot of battery here, so we've not got much to play with.
4 more laps.
Okay.
So we need Danny Rick to use the pace he's got. If only Ricciardo was a champion in real life. Oh no, sad times, sad
We
times.
have Max 1.8
Who knows? The way Lawson's going, Ricciardo might be in the Red Bull soon. You never know. Although I think there might be some kind of riot if they took Lawson out of the car and Yuki still didn't get it. Especially how Yuki started this season. Very good from Yuki so far. Lawson was a weird shout. Yeah, they obviously went a lot by their testing they did. Obviously, they did that behind closed door Red Bull test, didn't they, where they compared him to Max. But I think it's all well and good being fast when it's kind of a relaxed environment. You're on an empty track and it's essentially a time trial. As Alonso has got to Bottas and got past him. So Fernando has had mega pace here. And there we go. So that's where Fernando was, and I'm glad I saw that message come up about using 2 compounds. But Fernando's got back to where he was, so nothing really lost for Fernando, but he could have battled these guys. Let's just pull away from Bottas so we don't fight him for the rest of the race. Max has pulled the gap for 2 seconds here. I think Max has got this covered, unfortunately. Yeah, I think Max has got it covered, but let's just keep pushing. Daniel, I feel the Red Bull. Yeah, the Red Bull car is definitely, obviously, more in tune to Max's needs. I say the only problem with that is if Max does decide to leave at the end of the year, they've got a problem with that car, because if there's not many drivers that can drive it properly, they're going to have to drastically change it anyway. So are they not best? They obviously wouldn't do it for this year's cars, but 2026 onwards, are they not best to design that car that's a little bit more well-rounded and will suit a lot of driving styles rather than just Max? Because obviously that's all good if Max stays with the team for a long time. But other than that, as I say, everyone else seems to struggle with it, bar Danny Rick. But we're good on fuel, we're good on tyres here. There is Max Verstappen, but he's going to do enough, Max. We're not going to have enough pace to catch him, I don't think.
Charge on now, please.
Yep, understood.
They're very close to him, but it's not going to get close enough, I don't think.
Yep, understood.
Alonso's not going to get to Sainz, so Alonso will get P6. Do you think Hamilton will win the sprint in China? I think he's got a good chance, but I'm still fancying the McLaren boys to come through. And you've got good opportunities to overtake in China, especially down that long straight into the hairpin. So I don't think if cars have got pace, and I think McLaren still got good race. I just feel McLaren maybe have still got a couple of attempts. So I think if they can get early overtakes and a good start, I do fancy a McLaren 1-2 still. Piastri first, Lando second, Lewis third. But Max has certainly covered us off here. And let's use a bit of this battery, just see if we can edge it any closer to him.
Possible to discharge the battery a little bit.
Okay.
Ocon is stopped.
Oh, Esteban Ocon's retired. The third retiree of this race. He's obviously had a mechanical issue and is boxed.
We don't have enough battery.
Yep, understood.
The battery is gone. Ricciardo
Hold the overtake.
pushes on. Tsunoda is going to get a podium, but he's not going to become the World Drivers' Champion. It is going to be Daniel Ricciardo,
Confirm.
the Honey Badger. One of the biggest personalities in Formula One. Sadly, no longer in the sport, as we know. But Daniel Ricciardo lives on in this series. He's been our driver since day one in this series. We've had 3 different drivers next to him. Mick Schumacher, Liam Lawson, Fernando Alonso. He's beat each of them every year. He's been consistent for us. And this year, we have given him a car that is good enough to claim a championship. And he has not let us down. He's won multiple races, but he's been consistent all year. And he's just got half a lap to go now until he is going to cross the line. And the man from down under, the Honey Badger, is going to claim a World Driver Championship. As so many fans would have loved to have seen in real life, it's not going to be possible now with him not in the sport. But in a virtual world where anything can happen, it's going to happen. Daniel Ricciardo, his old teammate Max Verstappen, is going to win the race. But it doesn't matter, because Daniel Ricciardo is the 2026 World Drivers' Champion. The Honey Badger has done it.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
He's very calm under that helmet.
For the efforts.
He's emotional, I guess. He's emotional. Sainz finishes 5th, but Fernando Alonso, we messed up the strategy there, but somehow he had blistering pace at the end, and he comes back for P6 where he was before that final pit stop. But it's all about Danny Rick.
Well finished.
Yeah, so what are they doing?
It is all about a Danny Rick.
Well done, everyone.
He has done it.
Into the pit lane.
Let's see these celebrations. Where is he? Where is the man?
And
there he
what
is.
A year to remember for Daniel Ricciardo.
Come on.
As he wins the championship. And I'm not sure there's anyone who enjoys a podium quite like Daniel Ricciardo does.
Gets a podium. It's not the win, but he's not going to be bothered because he's the World Driver Champion. Yuki Tsunoda gave him a good fight in the end. Yuki is not going to be a champion this year.
That's another one over.
Max Verstappen's actually dominating as well alongside Yuki at the end of the season, so Max might still have a chance to finish P2 in this championship. We'll have a look shortly. But Danny Rick is the champion of the world. How did you get report talk so long? Limbs.
Well, the title's been firmly in their
Limbs
sights
indeed,
all
Lenny. There's
season,
Limbs.
but now the team
Limbs in the
can
Team
finally
Lotus
celebrate
garage.
their championship win.
Elamante, thanks for the follow.
They're celebrating. They picked up both the Drivers and the Constructors Championship.
That is right. Drivers and Constructor Championship double. We wrapped the Constructors' last race in Qatar. And with a race to go, Danny Rick
here in Abu Dhabi
has done it
Coming
this
up in the
year.
next round is the Sao Paulo Grand Prix as we head to Brazil. Join us next time at Interlagos.
There we go. We all calm down now. We all calm down. Does this game have custom celebrations per driver? Because this would be a shoey moment for Dan. No, it doesn't. No, he would definitely be doing a shoey. He would be doing shoey all night. You wouldn't see Danny Ricciardo for at least a week, I feel, if he won the Drivers' Championship. King, hi, how's it going? He was on par with Max when he joined Red Bull, so I think he could still put up a fight. Yeah, as I say, if there was any universe in which I'd like to have seen continue, it'd definitely have been Danny Rick and Max Verstappen staying teammates for until Red Bull got to this stage where they had a dominant car. That would have been very interesting to see. But here is the full race classification then. Max Verstappen wins it from pole. Pretty dominant in the end for Max. We got close, but he had us covered off. Danny Rick up 1 to finish second. Yuki took that penalty, so it was always going to be an uphill battle for him, but he does finish third on the podium, but it's not enough to win the championship or take the championship to the final race of the season. His teammate also up 12, so a good race in the end for the RBs. Carlos Sainz down 3, Alonso down 1, but he was 6th before we realised that we hadn't used a second compound, so we had to box for those soft, blistering pace at the end and got back to P6. Bottas finished where he started, P7. Albon up 3 to 8, so there's points for Aston Martin, Lando 9th, and there's a point for Audi as well. So we'll have a look what that does to the constructors, because there is a fight for 7th between, I believe it's Aston Martin, Audi, Williams and Haas. So that might have shaken that up a little bit. Was that a grand slam for Max? It was a pole win and a fastest lap for Max Verstappen, indeed. Drivers' Championship then, there we have it. The gap needed to be 26 points or less going into the final race for Yuki to have a chance. But it is not. It is 46 points. So it didn't work in the end for Yuki. There was a couple of points in that race, especially before the red flag, when we were down in, well, we were 15th at one point, then we got to 10th, and Yuki was then battling for 2nd/3rd with Sainz. And there was a point there where it looked like it might go to the final race of the season. In the end, it doesn't. Danny Rick is the 2026 champion. Only 4 race wins. Look at that, 15 podiums. He's been consistent, as he has been all through this series. And that's what's done it. Yuki has had more wins, 6 race wins. Max has had more race wins. Danny Rick, Mr. Consistency. G, thanks for the follow. Yuki might still drop to P2. Yes, indeed. So we'll have a look at that when I'm on next stream. There will be some battles still to be had here. One of them, potentially, is for P2 in the championship because it's only 12 points between Max and Tsunoda. So Max could finish P2. Alonso's P4. Sainz is 5th. Piastri 6th. There's big gaps between these, so it doesn't look like anything's available there. Hulkenberg, perhaps Lando Norris could challenge Hulkenberg for 7th, but that would need a big result for Lando. Then we've got Bottas in 9th, 8 points on Hamilton. There's potential for that being a battle. Other than that, nothing really there in the top 10. And then we've got George in 12th. Albon now up to 13th. He's got 17 points this season for Aston Martin. His teammate, Kevin Magson's got none. Teo Portier is in 14th with 14 points. Pierre Gasly goes to 15th. He's now on 8 points, claimed another point for Audi. Then we've got Perez, Ocon and Bortoletto. So as I say, Magson along with Fittipaldi and the 2 Alpines still yet to score. And let's see what's happened to the constructors then. We know we've won it, but I want to see that P7 battle. As I say, Lotus have won it. Red Bull continue to gain us, so it doesn't look like a massive margin. Probably won't be a massive margin by the final race. It's well, say massive. It's still probably going to be about 70, 80 points by the time we wrap this season. Red Bull looking pretty good. Well, they are good now for P2. I don't think that's even mathematically possible, is it, for RB? So Red Bull are going to finish second. RB are going to finish third. McLaren are going to finish fourth. Realistically, Ferrari are going to finish fifth. And Mercedes will finish sixth. So the top six is all done and dusted. But we have had a change in this battle for seventh. And Aston Martin, 4 points from Albotto, massive 4 points, has taken Aston Martin 1 point ahead of Haas. So the battle for seventh is now Aston Martin on 17 points, Haas on 16, Williams on 11, and Kick Sauber, who are now Audi in this game, have gained 1, but that's probably not enough. They've only gained 8 points all season. They need 9 in the final race of the season. Although it is Brazil, and strange things can happen in Brazil, but realistically, I'll probably say Williams and Audi with 1 race to go are probably out of it. So it's going to be Aston Martin against Haas for P7 in the Constructors Championship in Brazil. So that's probably going to be that'll be the main Constructors fight, and probably the main Drivers fight is going to be for P2 between Max and Yuki. And I think Max could definitely do it. He's winning quite a good few races at the end here. And if he wins and Yuki finishes, I think, 4th or 5th, that will probably claim Max second in the championship. Pit stops, forgot about the pit stops, but we did get 15 points. That might come in handy. It does. Bumps us up to 5th, so we've still got a chance for 5th in this. 6th, at least, we're going to claim. The best we've ever done in this series is 9th, so it's definitely going to be our best year in terms of pit stops. And we've hit our race targets as well. You might still drop to... Yuki might drop to P3, yes. When is the Brazil stream? So that will be on Tuesday. So we stream this series every Tuesday and Friday. So we'll be back with the final race of the season in Sao Paulo, Brazil, on Tuesday, and that will be the end of this Team Lotus series, or at least the end of it being the main series that we stream. I might drop the odd episode, might continue it in the future. So we have done some work for 2027. Arvad Lindblad is replacing Danny Rick, so Danny Rick is going to be the reigning world champion. He's not retiring though. We wanted to go for some young drivers, but Ricciardo is off to Audi, so we'll still see Ricciardo on the grid. Fernando Alonso hasn't signed with anyone. He's out of contract. I expect he might retire. But we've got Franco Colapinto coming in to replace him. So Lindblad and Colapinto coming in to replace our drivers. But as I say, the main series after Brazil stream on Tuesday, we'll be switching to a Maserati series. And we'll be starting a new series then. As I say, first of all, we will round out this season. See how the final driver standings end up and constructors. So if you want to see the conclusion of this series, do check us out on Tuesday from 7 p.m. If you want to see all the episodes in this series, so if you can't jump into the stream, there will be episodes of all of these on YouTube. So if you watched on TikTok or Twitch, head to the profile. In my profile in the bio, you'll see the YouTube channel. Head over to there, subscribe, and in the playlists, you will see the Team Lotus playlist. So go and check out all of the episodes in this series. But before I go, do smash a like on the video. Really do appreciate the support. There's been lots going on in the chat, so thanks for dropping in. And it's been a good one. Daniel Ricciardo has finally claimed the Drivers' Championship, so he couldn't do it in real life, but he's done it here for Team Lotus. We are 2026 Constructors and Driver Champions of the world. And have a very good weekend. Enjoy the China Sprint in a few hours and China qualifying in a few hours.